Hey guys, this is Roxann Smithers with Smithers Law Group, your trusted 360 general counsel, and this is a note from my Legalpad. So I get questions from clients and prospective clients about the various ways that they can protect either the information that's available in their business or protect their relationship with their customers and their relationship with their employees or their service providers. And there is a very specific set of contract provisions that cover these concerns. They're called restrictive covenants. And the name is pretty self-explanatory. They are going to restrict or limit the ability of other parties, and these are promises or covenants or commitments that the parties make to restrict their behavior. Hence, restrictive covenants. There are three main types that you may see in a contract or that you may want to put in your contracts. That's going to be a non-disclosure or confidentiality provision, a non-compete provision, or a non-solicitation provision. So we're going to take those one by one and you can kind of get a little idea of how they can be utilized. The first, non-disclosure or confidentiality agreement, is pretty self-explanatory. This provision, or sometimes it's a separate agreement if you are in the midst of shopping an idea or product around and you want to protect that information. In essence, you are limiting the party who's going to receive information about your business or about your product from being able to utilize that, share it with anyone else, publicize it in any way, shape, or form. This can be a separate agreement or it can be a provision in a contract that says that they have to hold the information that they receive from you about your business as confidential. That can be pricing, that can be your process, that can be client records, individual corporate records, financial records. Anything that you decide that you need to deem confidential can fall under that category. The reason that you might want to do that brings up our next provision, which is the non-compete. Your goal is to limit someone's ability to use your information against you to ultimately compete with you in business. So you'll see a non-compete provision in contracts with independent contractors. You'll sometimes have a non-compete or loyalty provision in the operating agreement or bylaws that are going to limit the other partners from competing with the business. And essentially, for either a specific period of time or with specific customers in a specific geographic area or with specific services or specific goods that are being sold. You're putting a limit on the other party's ability to compete with you in that market. And generally speaking, an enforceable non-compete is usually a year. Maybe two. Anything beyond that, courts are going to look at whether it's reasonable or it is an unfair limit to the other person's ability to make a living and be in the marketplace as well. Another provision that you may see in contracts, either with your service providers or oftentimes it can be put in longer term contracts with customers as well, is the non-solicitation provision. What this essentially says is that if you have someone who's a part of your organization that then leaves your organization, they are not allowed to try to essentially pilfer or pick off your employees, your staff, your service providers, or your support and take them away to support their efforts in competition with you. Same thing with the customers. You may have a non-solicitation provision in a contract that keeps your customer from hiring out from under you, your team or your service providers, and sort of cutting you out of the process. And so these are the three main restrictive covenants. That's the non-disclosure or confidentiality provision, your non-compete, and your non-solicitation. And when used properly, they are key tools that a business owner or service provider can utilize to protect the value that they have put in their company and the value that they've put in building their market, building their customer base when that's necessary for them to bring in support staff up or make connections between their staff and their customers. If you'd like more information from the attorneys with the Smithers Law Group, you can find us on our website at STU Law Group. You can find us on our social media at Smithers Law Group, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Of course, we'd love for you to like and subscribe to get more of our videos. And this has been a note from our Legalpad.